You know, this just dawned on me just a second ago as I was driving along today. And I've been thinking about this for some time. Who was the better artist? Yes. I'm questioning it right now. Who was the better artist between Michael Joseph Jackson and Prince Rogers Nelson? And of course, you know we're talking about Michael Jackson and Prince. And I'm not gonna lie. They were both very good, but I've only had one choice for a number of years. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys, hold on for 1 second here. All right, it's DJ Wolf here. For many years, I followed the careers of Michael Jackson and Prince very closely. Considering they were both 6 years older than I was, Prince being the older of the two, not by much either. I think about a month, 2 months almost. But anyway, I looked up to both of these guys. You know, I grew up watching Michael Jackson when I was a little boy. When he was still a little boy. That's the crazy part about it. I was a kid. But anyway, I watched him grow up. Let's put it like this. I watched him grow up. I literally watched Michael Jackson grow up. And kind of the same with Prince, because I didn't realize till about a year or two ago that Prince was actually 19 when he actually hit it big, when his first big hits. Although he had been a professional musician since 17. Now, the thing is, there's always been that big comparison because, you know, both Prince and Michael Jackson had a bank of hits out they've been banking out hits for decades. And we're still both professionally still doing music right until they're passing. Untimely passing at that. And the thing of it was, they were both passionate about what they did as artists. One question that came to mind years ago, I was going to school. I was going to a tech school, and my wife had won tickets from the local station down here in the DMV to win Prince tickets. And I think that's when he had the White Album out, one album. I think it was the White Album, one album he did, and he had a concept album around that time too. It was one of the first digital concept albums ever recorded, and it happened to be about Prince. But anyway, so we won the tickets, and we saw him. He did a show. He did a 2-hour show out at the old Cap Center, which is now Boulevard of the Cap Center for those of you who live out in the DMV here. And speaking of that, if you go to the Boulevard of the Cap Center, there actually is a poster of Prince performing at the Cap Center. It wasn't his first time either. Well, my wife and I we saw him in '97, but he had performed a few times before that. Going all the way back to the Purple Rain tour in the 1980s. And there's video footage on YouTube of him performing at the Cap Center at the time. But anyway, so he was in town when we saw him in '97. This was around the time my wife won the tickets. And he was on the stage for about 2 hours. And after 2 hours, just him and his band. 2 hours straight, nonstop. He was fired that night. So, at the end of the concert, he came out and said, quote, "I ain't got no more hits, y'all." I said, dude, you hadn't even got to the White Album yet. Or was it the Black Album? It was one of them. He had got one of the newer albums he had at the time. He hadn't even started performing hits from that. I think he did like 1 or 2, that was it. He's like, "I'm out of hits, y'all." That's exactly what he did, his very words. I said, no, you're not. You still got a couple albums left. Shoot. But he was a very prolific songwriter. Very talented guy. He played several instruments on several of his albums, along with his other bands too. So, but nevertheless, my understanding, I heard when they were talking about this 2 years ago, around the time of his death, that he had a vault of nothing but songs that he had either recorded, completed, that he wrote, or were slightly unfinished. And matter of fact, I heard a number were completed, but they had I guess there was still a rift about who has the ownership of his masters to many of those records. I mean, many of those recordings and publishings. I haven't heard anything else about it. That was 2 years ago. I don't know who has the rights to it now. I honestly couldn't say if he still does or they still do, whether his family has it or whether his estate has it or what. I haven't heard any more talk about it since. That was 2016. But his hits can go on and on and on forever and a day, from what I've been hearing. Michael Jackson, as you know, started out with his brothers at the age of 3 and amassed hits for decades himself. Very talented brother himself, just like Prince. And loved all over the world. Was loved everywhere. That was MJ in a nutshell. Now, for me, personally, and I never knew Michael Jackson to play no 17 instruments and record them on albums. Not that I know of, at least not from the credits I saw, or anything like that. MJ did play a couple of instruments that I know of. I knew he played piano and I knew he played drums. I didn't find that out until after he died. But anyway, nevertheless, he was an immensely talented, very prolific songwriter, and it was innovative in a lot of the music that he did. Because if you notice now, since Michael Jackson's passing, no one has came close to the type of music styles that he's done. Neither to the music styles that him or Prince did. There's nobody was going to ever be like those guys again. That's never going to happen. That's like a star that just comes once every billion years. It's over. But for me, my personal, the artist who I think really had held his own for many years as an artist, overall, I think was Prince. I thought Prince was, because people have told me, have made debates about this. Just kiss my ass. Still say Prince. Prince is the man. Prince is the man, was the man, always will be. I think he was the better of the two artists, personally. That's just my personal taste. Some people might say it was Michael Jackson, but I can't see it. But like I said, it's a personal taste. And I think Prince was, Prince, think about all the things Prince did besides music. Besides write songs, arrange songs, create songs, perform songs off of multiple instruments. That's just part of what he did. Remember, Prince actually wrote and directed and starred in screenplays in 3 or 4 of the movies that he put out. And he played both dramatic and comedic roles in many of in those movies that he put out. Michael Jackson wasn't known for doing that. I take that back. He did do a couple of movies, but he wasn't known for doing anything else beyond that, other than his music. That's why I said Prince was a bad boy. And ain't no telling what he could have done outside music, but he continued with his music. Because I thought Prince was going to start doing more movie roles, but really, with the talent that he had, he could do anything, man. I heard a rumor that he could have that he had considered running for mayor one time. I don't know how I'm political office, but I don't know. I don't think that was true though. I really don't think that was true. But this guy did genres upon genres. The guy did R&B. The guy did pop. He did funk. He did rock and roll. He did rock. He did it all. He did it all. Jazz, blues. You name it. He practically did almost every type of genre. Now, Michael Jackson, I know, did R&B, a little bit funk, not really very, very well. So when he was younger, yeah. and pop. That's it. I think he did a jazz. Well, I can't help it that he did what on Quincy Jones album that he did Off the Wall, and I thought Mike was going to actually do a little bit more of that later on, which he didn't. But because I think he had a voice in the ear for jazz. I really did. I think he definitely had a voice for jazz. It's called I Can't Help It off the Wall album that was produced by Quincy Jones, and I think he was brilliant on that record because it was a very jazzed up jazz tune. To me, it wasn't really an R&B tune; it was a jazz tune, and I could definitely see it. And I always told people for years, I could definitely see Michael Jackson becoming a jazz artist. I could see it because he had the voice for it. His voice arrangements was just like Prince, but Prince had more octaves than Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson could make his voice adjust to a specific type of music setting so well. He really did. He really did. And you gotta give him credit for that. He was amazing with that. So to be honest, in a way, it's a bit of a toss-up. I think Prince had a little bit more of an edge as far as a dominant talent in the music industry, more than Michael Jackson, for a lot of reasons. But MJ did hold his own. Let's be real about that. He always did. So, like I said, when it comes to those two, pick your poison. But for me personally, outside that, could go almost either way. Because they were both two great talents that, to this day, I sorely miss. I really do mean that, man. There's nothing like those two out there. Not even close. Not even remotely close today. I couldn't think of, what's going on with traffic, man? I couldn't think of 5 artists a day that could come close to either one of these two right now. Not 5. I'm talking about black or white. Real talk. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got to say right now. Of course, I'll always have more or something else to say on the back burner. Questions or comments? If you want to debate me on it, of course, let me know in the comment section for All to Hear TV on YouTube. For those of you who don't have access to YouTube, let me know. And that goes for Spreaker fans as well. Hit me up, DJ Wolf Live at AOL.com. That's DJ Wolf Live at AOL.com. All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got to say. Of course, like I said again, I always got something on the back burner about another topic or something similar to this. I will talk to you guys later. I'm out.